Spain. We're bringing you Supercross action from the Silver Bowl in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's round 7 of the Camel Supercross Series. Jeff Matasevich, rider number 20, is your leader. Earlier, we talked to Matasevich about what it would take to keep it all together and take the checkered flag on this racetrack here in Nevada.
This track's going to have to ride really smooth and consistent. There's a lot of whoop-de-doos, jumps, and a lot of areas to lose a lot of time or make up time. So staying really smooth and consistent, I think, is going to be the game plan here tonight.
Well, the game plan is working well for Matasevich out front. Meanwhile, being smooth and consistent back in the number 3 position is rider number 1. We just had a shot of him. Here he comes heading into the camera. Jeff Stanton, the defending Supercross champ. Jean-Michel Bale, just to the right of your screen, disappearing. Number 22 is holding down the number 2 position. So this one right now belonging to Matasevich. But so many times this year, Dave, we have seen Matasevich be smooth. We've seen him be consistent out in front, but each time he seems to run out of gas.
Well, yeah, his arms were pumping up in the first couple of races. He got into tangles with other riders, got into a shoving match with Larry Ward, the eventual winner at Seattle. He's never really been able to put together a whole race, but I think the kid is really maturing. He's riding a whole lot more brainy race here tonight than he's ridden all season long, and you see the payoff. Look at the gap back to Bale. Bale is not closing on Matasevich at all, and to me, Jeff looks very much like a winner tonight. He looks like a kid who can go the distance, and it's the first time this year he's looked that way.
Well, earlier this evening, you talked about confidence. If Matasevich looks over his shoulder, he's not going to see the front wheel of Damon Bradshaw. He's not going to see Larry Ward. He's not going to see his teammate Jeff Ward. He's going to know that he's alone right now in that number 1 position. So that confidence factor could be telling its tale out here in this Las Vegas track.
Bale is one of the guys who interests me as we watch him come by in second spot. This is the world champion. He's got a big lead over Stanton. He's got a big gap to make up to Matasevich. Bale doesn't seem to have the endurance that to me would mark a world champion. He's not able to close this gap on Matasevich as we see him come around. He's a full straightaway behind. He doesn't have the stamina. He's not in top shape. I don't know, maybe it's the American living doesn't agree with it.
Here's a rider on the move, as you mentioned earlier, number 11, Mike Kidrowski. He's coming up to challenge Doug Dubach. You recall Dubach was the early leader in this one. And Dubach is currently running in the number 4 position. Kidrowski in 5th, looking to move into 4th. He went wide. Dubach was able to square it off, squirt down to the inside, and hold on to that number 4 spot. Dubach looked over his shoulder and said, where did he come from? He grabbed a handful of throttle, and now he's opened up about a 5-bike length lead over Kidrowski.
Here's Matasevich lapping Chris Young. Quite a story. Young rode both main events tonight. Made the 125 class, came back to ride the 250. He's a tired puppy.
Oh, that's got to take something out of it. You talk about an Ironman. Here's that battle for the number 4 spot. Dubach still holds on, and Mike Kidrowski now has moved up to his rear wheel. Man, he is all over him. Talk about the pressure. Dubach can not only see him, they have developed a sixth sense, and he knows he's there. He can feel him there, and he's trying to anticipate the lines that Kidrowski is going to take, and he's trying to put himself in that line. Look there. Whoa, and Kidrowski did a ram number on Dubach, and he paid the price. You don't see that very often, but Dubach came out of that one the winner. Let's take another look, Dave.
Self-inflicted penalty right here. Kidrowski clearly in the wrong, came in, banged him from the inside. 9 times out of 10 what happens is it'll knock the outside guy into the hay bales, and the culprit will keep on trucking. This time Kidrowski lost the front end and fell down.
The Coors Extra Gold Super Challenge main event is just about halfway over. Behind Matasevich just a second ago, we saw that big number 10 on the Coors scoreboard indicating 10 laps down, 10 laps to go before this one is history. Now, if Matasevich is going to run out of gas, this is just about the point that it will happen in. Now, that, of course, is based on previous races that we've watched Matasevich in, but it looks to me like he really has this one under control. He's got it all together. I hope for his sake that he can keep it up, because I think that is going to give him the incentive he needs to not only win more races before this year's over, but to go on and capture that flag. And it would be good to see a youngster come up and do something like that. Dubach, meanwhile, is all alone in that number 4 position, and he's got to be gloating back there. There's the rider in the number 2 spot, Jean-Michel Bale, the French world champion.
Big gap from Bale back to the 3rd place man. I'm curious about Jeff Stanton. Here he comes through the whoop-de-doos. He's lost the pace. The rhythm is terrible. He's shaking his head. There's something wrong here. It's got to be the motorcycle. I don't know if it's suspension, a handling problem, engine, or what, but he's not a happy camper. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a man that's been spinning nothing but double zeros on the roulette wheel all night long. He's your leader, Jeff Matasevich. This is round 7 of the Camel Supercross Series. I'm Larry Myers. With me, Dave Despain. If you've just joined us, you've missed a lot of exciting Supercross action. Back in the pack, there's Larry Ward. There's a call to number 6, Ron Tishner. You remember on the opening lap, the opening corner, Tishner, number 6, crashed his brains out. He was dead last, and he has really worked his way up through the pack.
He's come a long, long way, while his teammate, Larry Ward, number 17, is faded. The other guy that deserves a call in there is the 23 on the Kawasaki, Mike Fisher. Now, this is your battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position, and Ward is around Fisher as he picks up a spot. He was your Seattle winner earlier this year.
Now, earlier in the race, Ward was challenging for one of the front-running spots, but a boo-boo on the track slid him backwards, so actually he's on his way back. There's the rider in the number 4 spot, number 7, Doug Dubach, California rider. Earlier today, doing a feature on Dubach and hole shotting, and Dubach did us the favor of coming right out and leading, but he's worked his way back.
Well, I think the guy that really deserves the mention here is number 6, Tishner. He was on the ground and literally the 20th place guy when this thing got underway. Not only 20th, but 20th with a big gap, having had to let the rest of the field go. And now for him to have moved into the top 10 is a very impressive ride. He's challenging Kudrowski here, who had to pick himself up off the ground. Nobody is challenging this guy.
A thing called adrenaline. How many times have we seen it? A guy picks himself up off the ground. He just pounds the racetrack. He almost puts himself in a different world. He finds lines that no one else can see. He's able to go through the corners a little bit faster than anyone else on the track. Tishner is doing that right now as he charges through the pack. Jeff Matasevich, La Habra Heights, California, is just taking this Las Vegas Silver Bowl track by storm. He is really putting it together.
You know, the thing that's amazing about this is how different it is from any of the races we've seen all year. Every single Supercross main event this season has been a dogfight, and this guy has turned this one into a cakewalk. Matasevich is checked out. He's gone.
Need to give credit where credit is due. We've referenced a couple of times throughout this main event and earlier telecast that Matasevich was not able to hold down that number 1 spot, that he was folding either under pressure or conditioning. We could only imagine what the problem might be. No folding here tonight. He is really putting together a fine race. He's smooth. He's hitting his lines consistently. Every time he goes into the corner, he's putting that front wheel in the same place, and consistency is what Supercross is all about.
You know, we talk about him being a rookie. I think it's important to point out that this kid made a strategic decision and rode the 125 class 2 consecutive seasons. He does have more Supercross experience than the other guys in that so-called rookie class of 1990. He's also a year older. He's 20 years old. Jean-Michel Bale here in second, able to do nothing with him tonight. It is Matasevich's night, and I think it is truly the emerging of the mature star, Jeff Matasevich. More than the point leader, he's a potential champion.
Before his career is over, I think we're going to see him in the winner's circle many, many times. Now, he has just put a lap on rider number 3. That's Jeff Ward. Ward was another one of those riders involved in that opening lap crash. We mentioned Tishner. The other 2 riders were Mike LaRocco, who we have not seen. LaRocco has called it a day, is on the sideline, and Jeff Ward was the 3rd rider. Ward is a lap down. Tishner is working his way through the pack. An amazing ride.
As we watch Matasevich reeling in that checkered flag, you got to appreciate the extent to which that championship is a motivator. To be able to go out at his age, here's heavy traffic for Bale. Looks like he's going to get through unaided. To be able to go out and win a championship at the age of 20 will literally set this kid up for life. If he doesn't get hurt, if he doesn't get into some kind of trouble and get bounced out of his contract, he can literally put away enough money in 5 years' time as a Supercross champion to retire and live the good life.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars are at stake for this championship series. One, you get bonus money from Camel. You get money from the manufacturer. Kawasaki is going to pay him just a ton of money if he can win this thing. He gets a bonus every time he wins a race. Not even talking, Dave, about the clothing contracts, the money he gets from gloves, helmets, boots. I'd like to be in his position, except I really don't want to go through all of the pain, all of the dedication, all of the effort and time that it takes to get there.
Exactly. It's money you earn. You earn every nickel of it. It's not an easy way to make a living. But boy, right now, this kid is having it easy here in Las Vegas. And again, I'm just amazed at how thoroughly he's dominated the event. Granted, Ward got knocked down early, but other than that, it's been Matasevich's night. We'll be back for the exciting finish of this one right after this.